A major ground beef recall out there, and also your reports on a possible solution for insulin shortages. Also, viewer thoughts on egg sizes, as well as what's going on in the beef industry with regard to calves and the prices of calves. Post office power off backup plans. What will the post office do if it doesn't have power? Let's just say you won't be impressed. And a whole bunch of other reports coming from you guys. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. Updates from the viewers that watch this show. I thank you so much for those of you sending in reports. If you have something to share with the group, please use the word update in your comment and just give us some sort of geographical location if you can. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do help people who have retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, to get out of stocks and bonds over into gold, silver, platinum coins, physical metals in your IRA. If you have questions about that, there'll be a link at the end of the video to get more information. So Walmart has issued a beef recall. This is not just Walmart, but also the USDA issuing an alert that 8 tons of ground beef that has gone to Walmart stores all over the United States need to be recalled due to Cargill had an E. coli infection or containment breach, right? So we have E. coli in about 8 tons of ground beef spread across the United States. If you just recently bought packaged ground beef, we're talking about the white tray with the cellophane. That's the kind of ground beef. If you just bought that in the last couple days, you might want to check in to see if your lot was affected. Regarding the insulin shortage, we talked about that pretty importantly yesterday. A number of you guys, a bunch of you guys, did chime in with a possible remedy. Now, this is not medical advice at all, but you might want to look into berberine. I've heard about this before, and there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there about that. Some of you actually chiming in and saying that berberine, you found berberine to actually lower your blood sugar level. So if that's the case, that might be something to investigate. That is not something you need a prescription for or anything like that. That's just a dietary supplement. If it helps, then great, right? So if you are having issues with insulin, please do look into that and see if that is right for you, or get a doctor to answer some questions about that for you. RJ says, in British Columbia, Canada, London Drugs, a large drugstore chain here, has been closed since Sunday. Now, we've already reported on this, but 5 days because of being cyber attacked. Now, we reported this before, but it is still closed. It is still down. That is a serious problem out there. This is like a CVS or Walgreens here in the United States, a major drugstore, right? So, convenience store, drugstore. They've been closed, haven't been able to sell anything for 5 days now. Major hacking attacks are happening every single day. Things are just getting worse on that front. Just Some Other Guy has this to say. Yesterday was at Tractor Supply and was looking at garden plants. They had tomato plants that were flowering and were only 12 to 16 inches tall and were $20. I've got 5 on my table, the same size, and the seeds cost me 80 cents. And they won't flower until I'm ready to make them. Growing your own plants, growing your own food. And this is a thought for you too. Not only you, but starting plants. If you're going to already start some plants, you might want to start extras in order to sell them to neighbors or people in your community. You may even be able to link up with your grocery store or a store in your area to sell some of your plants as well, because they're having trouble keeping these things on the shelves, right? The local greenhouses, local gardening supply centers that produce some of these starts, they're not able to keep them in stock. So they might be interested in your plants as well. Angela says, I have an egg scale and was just curious about 2 years ago. I bought a dozen jumbo eggs, weighed all of the eggs, and only 2 were actually, certified or the correct weight for jumbo size. 1 was extra large, 3 were actually at the bottom of the small, and the rest were all regulars. I told the manager. The response was, "We take what they send us." A bunch of you guys also chiming in saying basically that the eggs that they're selling as large are actually mediums or old school mediums. So, and some of you guys saying actually smalls. So be aware that egg sizes are in flux. They are changing the sizes out there. So if you have recipes that really require a certain egg size, be aware that those egg sizes are changing. Truman says, "Steve, I have seen this with the size of eggs. The Walmart in Parkersburg, West Virginia, flour has been reduced to one section only, about 3 feet wide, and no self-rising flour at all the last time I went there." Flour is getting harder to find because you're not supposed to be baking your own bread, right? You're just supposed to be ordering bread, and you're supposed to be just buying the bread that they give you. If they don't have bread, well, you're not supposed to have bread. What do you mean stockpile? What do you mean be prepared? Rowan says, "We have purchased bottle babies, bull calves from dairies to raise for beef for years." So that's one way. If you have farms nearby, they want cows, right? They don't want bulls. So if you have a bull calf, they're obviously not going to be able to give any milk. So what can you use them for? The local people may be able to buy them at a discount in order to raise them for beef. So they've been doing this for years. Jersey calves were $50 to $75 and Holstein calves $100 to $150. Jerseys are smaller animals, hence the price difference. This year, Jersey bulls, used to be $50, are now $150, and Holsteins, used to be $100, are now $350. When the dairy I worked at closed 3 years ago, there were fewer than 200 dairies left in our state. Once again, that's Tennessee. I don't know how many there are now, but calves are getting hard to find. Beef is in crisis. Milk is becoming in crisis. This is what's happening out there, friends. If you're not paying attention, you're going to get run over by this. You might want to stock up some ground beef. You might want to stock up some beef right now. There's different ways of doing that. Once again, canned. You can get dehydrated. You can get freeze-dried. You can also stock up on beef jerky even, or get stuff to put in your freezer. All good options out there. Regretta says, on a recent visit to Aldi, no vanilla extract or other extract. That's in Kingston, Pennsylvania. Anyone else seeing issues with vanilla extract? Please let us know down in the comments down below. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in there, right? Red Dog says, my local Stop and Shop in Rhode Island is terribly low on fresh produce. Now, we just had a report yesterday from that area to Rhode Island that they had really low produce, and there's issues with lettuce and other produce. What little there is terribly overpriced. Grow your own food to do or do without. It's certainly looking like the best way to go. So be aware of that. We're seeing New England issues, particularly in the Rhode Island area with produce. Let us know if you're up that way and you're seeing those things too. PJB says, a friend of mine was talking with their local post office and asked them what their plans were if the grid goes down. The response was, everything in the postal system is automated and runs on electricity. If the grid goes down, there will be no postal service. They do not have a backup plan. If U.S. Mail was your backup plan for paying bills, if the grid goes down, think again. This was in the Houston, Texas area. So that's something to think about. If the power grid goes down, if the internet goes down, so will the mail. The mail will not be delivered. Be aware of that until they can figure out a new system to deliver mail. Their computer systems going down means the mail comes to a stop. Everybody at the Postal Service gets a vacation until the power comes back on. So be aware of that, folks. WB5 says Cassville, Missouri, Walmart. No dried chickpeas. No coffee filters in the small size. Hardly any aluminum foil or plastic wrap. The space taken up now with extra large inventory of freezer bags. They're just moving things over to take up space, right? The Smart Style hair salon is gone, and the space is now a clearance room. Garden center almost bare. A lot of the garden centers are being replaced by those pickup and delivery sections. They're just taking over the garden section and turning it into processing place for pickup orders. No outdoor chair cushions and maybe 2 furniture sets. The plants prices are sky high. One large fern was $29.74. $30 for a fern. All this was, again, a big wake-up call. It is a big wake-up call. I don't know about you. Every time I go to the store, it's a big wake-up call. You look at something, right? And you know, a lot of these things you've gotten used to the price increases, but every so often you pick up an item and you're like, I remember when that was this price. You guys have those moments regularly like I do? Remember back when that used to be $1? I used to always buy that, and it used to be $1. Or you used to be able to get 2 for $1. And now, look at the prices. We keep having wake-up calls, but yet people continue to not wake up. It's astonishing. All of our friends and neighbors, they complain about the high prices. They see issues, but they refuse to do anything about it. Stock up, friends. Stock up, because the time of being able to stock up is coming to a close. Jacob says, having trouble finding buttermilk and chocolate milk in Greensboro, North Carolina. Yeah, we see a problem with the buttermilks as well as the chocolate milks out there. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's you're not getting what you want, right? Jennifer says Michigan homeowners insurance will not renew a policy if you have a wood stove connected. They don't want us to have the ability to be independent of the system. There's that, but there's also just they don't want to have the risk, right? But they're being told that wood furnaces are dangerous and dirty. We're being told that animals are dirty and dangerous, right? So all that to say, they are moving us away from being independent to being controlled. And the more controlled you are, the safer you are. I mean, let's just say it this way. A wood stove, does it have some dangers? Yes, it does. But so does electric baseboard heating. I mean, yet they're not blocking those people, right? Why is that? Why is it that certain things are more attractive and more okay than other things, yet they might be as dangerous as each other? Food for thought, right? All right, friends, thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the Poplar Report. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group, there's a link right here. You click on that link and you get to a form. They will call you and get in contact with you, and you can ask your questions, and they will be super helpful. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.